Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafiya wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. So here we are with our session number 69. And inshallah, we are going to start our session with a review. And this review is going to be on Suratul Ma'un and Suratul Kawthar from the last Juz Amma. So as we begin everything with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, I am going to take you to the Arab of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So with everything that we are going to do today, I have posted learning points, and which is, learning objectives. You can understand it like such. So with everything now you're going to see in front of your eyes on your screen, you will see what are we going to learn from this particular phrase or a fragment or a sentence or a verse in Quran, inshallah. So let's begin with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So when you look at this word Bismi, what comes to your mind? Let me open my chat so I can see your answers. Bismi, is it one word or two words? Jar wal majroor, and there are two words. One is harf jar, and then there is a word which is ism. Do you notice one thing that is omitted from ism? Is there anything that is supposed to be there when I say it ism? I say it, but when I read it, it is not there, right? Hamzatul Wasl, yes, this is an only place in Quran where you are going to see your Hamzatul Wasl that is omitted. So learning objective from Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Number one point you're going to learn and take home today is that when we write Bismillah Rahman Rahim in Quran, in Usmani Musaf or in other, I'm not sure about the in Indo-Pak, but in Usmani Musaf, you are not going to see your Hamzatul Wasl. It is omitted. It is mahzoof. Okay, it is according to some scholars, it is omitted for the ease because we have to write Bismillah Rahman Rahim so many times. So just for the ease, it has been omitted. However, if you see in various other places in Quran, you will see Hamza written. It is written, as I have posted some of the verses from Quran, and everywhere where word ism is there, you see a Hamza written clearly, right? Everyone with me so far? And will we all remember that in Bismi, Hamzatul Wasl is omitted. That's the only place where word ism is written without Hamzatul Wasl. When we started our journey, I taught you signs of ism. So how will you identify this word ism is an ism? If you can give me one of the signs that are there right in front of you, that will help me know that you have retained the information given to you in our earlier sessions. Alhamdulillah. So there were a few signs of ism if a word has an al or a tanween or a ta marbuta, or if it is beginning with meme, and this meme is in addition to the three root letters of a word. And then there was few weak signs of ism. They were not really weak signs. They were not signs. Some of them were not the signs that you will teach a beginner, right? Like for example, if you see, yeah, yes, very well done. So you see harf nida, I will not teach that to a beginner. Okay, if you see yeah, but I did teach you, but and my apologies for that. That sometimes I do go ahead of myself, but that's okay, right? It was beneficial in the end, alhamdulillah. So then yeah, if your word is preceded by ya, probably your word that is following ya is going to be in 95 to 98% of cases, you will see an ism following harf nida ya. Then I taught you if a word has a ya, that is yaul nisba, the word is going to be an ism, like Madani, Makki, Bengali, Pakistani, Farisi, those kind of words, right? Ya, yaul nisba, if a word has yaul nisba, word is going to be an ism. There was another one. If a word is preceded by harf jar, 99.9 cases, in 99.9 cases, the word following haruf jar is going to be an ism, right? It's going to be an ism. And so do you see any haruf jar here, Bismi? Right? You already gave me an answer that there's jar wal majroor. So B was there. So that tells you Word ism is an ism. If you were someone who did not know any word to word and you are attending this class for the first time and you have no idea, this b this b should help you identify that b is in 99.9% of cases is going to be followed by an ism, and those zero point 0.1 cases you have been given those that there is a ma, that is half, that is seen in case of fabi ma rahmatihi, and there were fabi ma rahmati, fabi ma naqdi. Those are very rare cases. There are a few verses, 3 or 4 I think, where you see harf jar was followed by ma, that was harf. So always remember, if you start from the very start and if you keep your basics in mind, inshallah, you should be able to reach the goal. And the goal is to understand Quran with deeper comprehension, inshallah. So Bismi was jar wal majroor. What is Allah? Lafzul Jalala. How will you connect to Lafzul Jalala to whatever is before? It's an idafa, right? So majroor bil idafa, we can just say that, right? Ar-Rahman. Is there any way you can connect Ar-Rahman with whatever is before? Following Lafzul Jalala in jar status. So yes, if someone at the beginning stage of their learning call it Mausuf wa Sifa, that's absolutely right. And if someone calls it Badal, those of you who have done Badal, that it is completely, it is something that can replace Lafzul Jalal. It's one and the same thing. So Bismir Rahmani is it can be understood as Bismir Rahmani, Bismir Rahimi. So that is also correct. You can call, you at this stage you can label Ar-Rahman sifa for Lafzul Jalala, Ar-Rahim sifa number 2 for Lafzul Jalala. And for those of you who have gone over the concept of Badal, you can call it Badal as well. Okay, both answers are going to be taken as correct answers. Okay, everyone with me so far? Type 1 if you are. Alhamdulillah. So now you have understood that this is all connected. So what is this all in front of you? Bismillah Rahman Rahim. If you all have to put it in one bucket, what is that, the name of that bucket? You just gave me that bucket in the very beginning. Some people just, alhamdulillah, were smart and they just wrote that, this is this fragment. So all of this is going to be in the bucket of jar wal majroor. When you see jar wal majroor, what have you learned so far? Either they are going to, when you see jar wal majroor, you are going to think about mutalik bil, barakallahu feek, right? Barakallahu feek. Very well done. So when you translate it in Urdu, for most of us who have, who are Urdu speakers, when we translate Bismillah Rahman Rahim, we translate it as मैं शुरू करती हूँ अल्लाह के पाक नाम से जो बड़ा रहमान हमेशा रहम करने वाला है. So what is not there? What is missing here? What are we missing here? Right? And you have that on your slide as well, right? मैं शुरू करती हूँ, and if I tell you it is abda'u, bada'a yabda'u, it was, abda'u, I start Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, because whatever I do, if the name of Allah is not there, that thing will be devoid of barakah. So this is a fragment with fail mahzoof. This is a fragment, this whole fragment, this Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Basmallah, has a fail mahzoof, which could be abda'u. Everyone with me so far? Okay, so now that was that. So I hope each and every one of you has understood what are we going to learn from Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Let's go ahead. So Ara'ayta allazi yukazzibu bid-din. So now, what are the learning points here? I want you to focus on Hamzatul Istifham. This Hamza that you are seeing at the beginning, what are you going to call it? 3 categories of word you have learned. Ism, fail, harf. Give me I, F, or H. What is the answer? Hamza. It is H. Yes, it is a harf. Do I need to put any i'rab on that? No. Why? Because, give me a reason. Because it's a harf. I don't need to worry about that. As soon as I see a harf, I don't put an Arab on that. Everyone with me so far? Everyone understood this concept. La mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. It has no i'rab for itself. It is mabni al-fatha, la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. It is always going to be with fatha, just like it is right now, and I'm not going to worry about this its i'rab. When I go for next, the next word is ra'aita. Ra'aita. What kind of a word it is? 3 categories of word I have taught you. Ism, fail, har. Give me the category. It's a fail. When I look at a fail at the beginning of my sentence, what kind of a sentence it is? Jumla ismi or jumla failya. So anwaul jumla, which means the type of the sentence, here is jumla failya. When I have a fail, what is the next step? When I have a fail, what is the next step? Is it maf'ul or a file? The next step is file or a maf'ul. Give me one good answer. I need a file, number 1. Do I see my file here? Do I have one? And do I see one? What is a file? Give me the name for my file. No. Ara'aita. Ra, hamza, ya are the root letters. Ta is at the end. Is it written, hidden? Anta, and ta'ul file, right? Ta'ul file, right? It is not mustatir, my dear. Ra'ita is, ta is there. It is not hidden, my dear sisters. And after ta, no need to, if you know, it is anta. Anta, ra'ita. No need to look for the outside door. Very well done, right? Ta is there, and that ta is called ta'ul file. What is the status of this ta, my dear sisters? It is rough, right? It is non-flexible, like most pronouns are, like all pronouns are. It is non-flexible, but since it's a doer, it's always going to be marfu in status, right? Or rough in status. When I have a fail and a file, I have determined that I'm good. I don't need to look for another file or no outside word, out of picture now. Then I go to allazi. What is allazi? Where did we learn allazi? Ism, fail, harf. Number 1, ism, fail, harf. Go to the category. Ism, and this is ism mausul. When you have ism mausul, you have been taught it is an ism that connects whatever is after it to whatever is before it. So now let's make connection. Its name is mausul. It comes from wasl and it connects. It's a connecting ism. So allazi. Have you seen? So what is this allazi doing here? Okay, yes. Who have you seen? It's a detail. And what is the status of my detail always? How should I label my detail? It's always nasb. It is showing its status with the fatha on the top? Yes or no? It is not. So what should I call it now? Should I just call it? Fi mahalli nasbin. Fi mahalli nasbin. Barakallahu feek, right? It is fi mahalli now. It is coming in place of nasb status. It is taking a place of a nasb ism, and it's not showing it itself like that. So I'm just going to call it fi mahalli nasbin. Fi mahalli nasbin maf'ul bihi. So after I have figured out my ism mawsul, number 1 step. You see ism mawsul, now you have to look for its baby called silatul mawsul. What kind of sila you have? Jumla failya. Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. So you have learned 3 types of silatul mawsul, jumla ismiya, jumla failya, and you have learned shubu jumla, that will be jar wal majroor. Jar wal majroor, shubu jumla is going to be jar wal majroor or zarf. Okay, zarf can be in form of idafa. Mostly it is zarf idafa. Okay, so that part is clear. Now, jumla failya, yukazibu. Give me what kind of a fail it is. Fail amr, mudari, madi. What? Where is the alamatul mudari? How do we know this is fail mudari? 15 minutes have passed and I have to finish these 2 surahs. Ya is alamatul mudari. What's the status of my fail? use abbreviations and I will get you. I have taught you enough in past 68 sessions. I have known your abbreviations. I think I'm familiar with. When you say R, it means you understood that this is marfu, this is rafin status with the matu zahira, right? Everyone can see the matu zahira. And who is the doer here? After I figured out my fail, the next step is file. Who is the file here? Can I see it? Is it mustatir or is it hidden? Oh, or is it visible? It's not visible. It is like, it is not baris, it is mustatir and it is huwa. Barakallahu feek. Biddeen. Biddeen. Jar wal majroor. Coming after yukazibu. Mutalik will fail. Yukazibu biddeen. What is the status of this? How will I label it? Silatul Mawsul is no status for it. La mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. La mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. Everyone with me so far? Let's go next. Learning points. فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدُعُ الْيَتِيمِ. So now remember one thing. This part, for now, I'm going to skip it, okay? I'm going to teach it to you in our later sessions. It's a little, advanced. So I have not taught you, and this is my review session. So I'm going to take it as a review session. Zalika. Number one, what kind of a sentence is there? Jumla ismiya. Zalika. What kind of an ism is this? You have it on screen, and that does not matter. It is ism ishara. And then it is mabni, right? It is non-flexible. So what kind of a status are you going to give it? It's at the beginning, it's starting the sentence. There's no reason for it to be of any other status. So you are going to call it a raf because raf is your default status. Very well done. So this is your marfu ism. And this is at the beginning of a sentence. And that sentence is a jumla ismiya. The next step is, yes, it is going to be your mubtada. And when you have your mubtada, what's the next step in jumla ismiya? After mubtada, what do you look for? You look for a khabar. Do you find one? Yes, allazi. So allazi, what kind of an ism? It's a mausul. What do we look after? It's a mausul. Sila, it's sila. Do you see one? What kind of sila it is? Sila is yadu, yadu. Sila is jumla failure. Tell me, tell me, what kind of a fail are we seeing here? Mudare because of ya, right? Mudare because of ya. What is the status of your jumla failure here? Mudare, what is the status of your mudare, fail mudare? It is marfu in status because of dammatu zahira. Al yatima. He pushes. He pushes who? Who does he push? Al yatima. Maful bihi. Remember, the most common type of maful is maful bihi. And if you learn maful bihi, rest is all piece of cake. Everyone with me so far? Okay. So you have your khabar now, allazi. Keep in mind, what kind of a khabar it is. When you look at allazi, think of it as allazi. And then give me, there are three types of akhbar that you have learned. Mufrad ism, jumla ismiya, jumla failure. Okay, your khabar, this whole is jumla ismiya. Your khabar is your ism mawsul. Your ism mawsul. Your khabar was allazi, right? So it is mufrad ism. Okay, the sentence goes along with it in the same bucket of khabar, but it is going to be mufrad ism. Everyone with me so far? It is something that is, a little tricky, but that is what ism mawsul does, and I have not touched that yet because I wanted you to, solidify the concept, the basic concept of ism mawsul, and then go on to learn how ism mawsul changes a sentence and make it behave like an ism. Now, this allazi came before yadul yatim. The one who pushes is about one person, and it is acting like a ism, isn't it? The whole concept, the whole thing Isn't it acting like one ism? That is the one who pushes orphan. One who pushes orphan. Is it a fail or an ism? One who pushes an orphan. One. The one who pushes an orphan. If I give you this phrase, the one who pushes an orphan is an ism, right? The whole compound phrase that you have, and now you're hearing from me, it is an ism. Remember that. And that's what ism mawsool does. And inshallah, when you come back from your break, we will learn and we'll dive deep into it, how it is going to change a complete sentence and make it act like an ism. Okay, inshallah. So silatul mawsool again is la mahalla lahu min al i'rab. It has no i'rab, so la mahalla laha. So don't worry about it. Zalika mubtada allazi khabar, and here you are with your jumla ismiya. And next, let's go to verse number 3. Wala yahuddu ala ta'amil miskin. Wow, what have we learned about wow? Have we learned anything? Atf, harf Yahuddu. What are we seeing? Oh, sorry. La. I cannot skip la. I cannot skip. I have taught you la. So, what is la? La nafiya. Why are you not calling it la nahiya? Why not la nahiya? Very well done. The fail after it is not majzoom. That is why this is la nafiya. That is ghair amila. Does not act on the fail after it. It just negates it, but does not change it in any way. It has no action. Okay. It just gives a negative meaning, but does not change anything. Does not bring any change to the fail after it. So it is. What is the status of my fail here? Yahuddu. Raf, nasb, or jazm. It is raf. And who is it after fail? I'll have to look for what? After fail, I have to look for file. Barakallahu feek. And who is the file? Doer. So who is the doer? Can you see the doer here? Huwa. And it is mustatir, barakallahu feek. You don't see anything after it. Your damir that is going to be baris is going to be after your last root letter. It will never be at the beginning of your fail. Always remember that. If you have not learned it, learn it today. Okay, inshallah. So what kind of a sentence are we looking at here? Verse number 3 is jumla ismi or jumla failure, or what? Jumla failure. Very well done. Ala ta'ami. What are we seeing here? Ala ta'ami. It is mutaliq bil fail because it is jar wal majroor. How will we connect this? Ta'amil miskin. Idafa. All connected? All going to be connected? Alhamdulillah. Any questions? Okay, so I think that I will take you to verse number 4 then. Skip far. Again, skip far. I want you to skip fast today. Okay. Wailun. Wailul lil musalli. What kind of a sentence are we seeing? Anwa'ul jumla, which means type of a sentence. Everyone has to type. Sister Anas, very well done. Jumla ismiya. Wailun. Wailun. When I see jumla ismiya, what do I look for? MK, MBK, right? So mubtada. So who is mubtada here? Wailun. Why is wailun common? Curse. If it is a dua or a curse, it is allowed. It is a rationale behind a common mubtada. If it's a dua or curse, it is allowed for mubtada to be common in that case. Barakallahu feek. Very well done. Lil musallin. What is that? One word, two words. Jar wal majroor. Mutaliq bil khabar. Very well done. Do we need to spend more time here? Or should I move on to verse number 5? Type 1 if you are done. You understood this. Okay. Okay, now comes verse number 5. And verse number 5 says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Allazina hum an salatihim sahun. What are we looking here at? What are we looking at? Don't jump the gun yet, okay? Allazina. Focus on allazina, okay? Focus on allazina. What is allazina? Tell me about allazina first. It's a mausul. When you look at as a mausul, you start to think about how to connect it's a mausul with whatever is before and after, and you have to build a connection. Okay, so since I am not showing you the slide, and I'm going to we'll connect it to whatever is before. Let's see after Isa Mosul, as Sister Samina has given her answer. I'm going to focus on Silatul Mosul first. Okay, here, because we don't have the previous slide in front of us, let's focus on Sila, and then we'll connect all together, connect everything. Okay, so hum an salatihim sahun. Your Sila is Jumla Ismiya. So when you see Jumla Ismiya, you look for three things: Mubtada, khabar, mutalik bil khabar. In this case, hum is mubtada, then comes your mutalik bil khabar an salatihim, and then comes sahun. Sahun is your khabar, and what kind of a khabar it is? You have learned three types: mufrad ism, jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya. Sahun, sahuna, sahuna, sahina, sahina. So no. Hum is mubtada. An salatihim mutalik bil khabar. Sahuna is an ism. It's a mufrad ism. Isn't it, my dear sisters? So where are we? It is mufrad ism, right? Everyone with me so far, or no? Right? It is mufrad ism. It is not jumla. Everyone under this whole sentence is this jumla ismiya, but sahuna is not a jumla, my dear sisters. They are neglectful about their prayers. Just, in easy translation, a very simple and very weak translation though. Okay, so it's a singleism, right? It's a mufradism, like muslimuna. Yes, very well done. So now my question is, what helped you identify that this word is a khabar? What was the indication of marfu status in this case? Sahuna. And I have taught you that. I'm not going to today ask you anything that I have not taught before. Very well done. Very well done. And that was the purpose of the whole 68 sessions, that you should be able to identify each and every letter, and you should be able to know and detach yourself. Sometimes we have to detach to reattach and establish ourselves sometimes, and it is very important that we know exactly, because this noon is avid anit tanween, right? Noon, avid anit tanween, from your types of noon, anwa'un noon. I have taught you this, that noon is avid anit tanween. This is a substitute of your tanween. So wow here is a sign of a marfu status, right? And your silatul mawsul here is jumla ismiya. You already told me that. And what's the status of this sentence? Silatul Mawsul is no status, right? It is la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab, right? The Silatul Mawsul, we are still at Silatul Mawsul, right, Sister Faiza? Okay. Oh no, I knew where you were coming from, but we are still, here. Okay. So now I will take you to something which is that we left. Now I have to connect, right? Without connections, everything is going to be incomplete, and I have to take you to that because I have something. Okay, sorry, and I will not take too long, inshallah. Bismillahi ta'ala. Today we are going to be right on time, inshallah, if Allah wills. Okay. Okay, Bismillah. فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. Is there any way I can connect al-lazina to whatever is before? That's okay. So now, my dear sisters, now tell me, how can I connect al-lazina to whatever is before? Mawsuf was sifa. Mawsuf was sifa. Give me the status, Azra, for al-lazina. Jar, because lil musallina was jar. Musallina is being described. Woe to those who pray. Woe, curse on them. What kind of people are those? Those who from their salat, they are very neglectful of their salah. Okay, They are very neglectful of their salah. So this whole thing, now, if it is sifa, if this is sifa, if this whole thing is sifa, so this will go in which bucket? Along with alazina. Tell me. Give me an answer, good answer. Yes, Sister Ambereen, it is going to go along with musallina, right? Along with musallina, it is going to go along with it because alazina is a sifa for al musallina. Everyone with me so far? If you are not, let me know now. You have connected this all together, okay, to al musallina. These two were matching, right? You are going to consider it as one ism. This allazina is a sifa. When it is a sifa for musallina, now we are not going to think of it as a sentence or anything. You are going to take it as a one word that is describing musallina. And musallina, those ones, what kind of musallin? Because there are many people who pray. These are those particular ones that are neglectful of their prayers. Is it clear? Yes. So this is Mawsuf, this is Sifa. Mawsuf was Sifa. Sifa always comes after. In 99% of cases, is going to be after. So Allazina is a Sifa for Musallina. And you will take it as an ism, you will consider it as an ism, and then comes whenever you have it's a mausul, its baby has to tag along with it. It's not even tagging along, it's just inseparable from it, so it's going to go along with it. You won't worry about anything after it. Now it is acting like one ism. Allazina hum an salatihim sahun. Let's see the translation here. What is the translation that Sahih International is giving us? Who are heedless of their prayers. So who are heedless of those who are heedless of their prayers? Am I talking about, does it sound like an ism? Those who are heedless of their prayers? Or does it sound like fail? What does it sound like? Those who are heedless of their prayers. It sounds like an ism. And that's what Allazina exactly do. It makes a complete sentence into an ism. It changes the complete sentence and make it act like an ism. Okay. So always, those who are heedless of their prayers. So always remember that. Okay. Now comes another sentence. Allazina hum yura'un. So let me take you back to the slides and now look at this one. So again, focus on allazina hum yura'un. Allazina, tell me what allazina is. You all know it is an ism mawsul. Look for whatever is after it. It acts like an ism, and it is an ism. Allazina is an ism. So you will take it as an ism. It's silatul mawsul can be a whole sentence, but together with its silatul mawsul, it acts like an ism. Always remember that. Its silatul mawsul can be anything, but it along with its silatul mawsul acts like one ism. Okay, you will only focus on those who, and then whatever comes after those who, it can be a sentence, it can be a fragment, but it is going to act like one ism. And I will take you back to the beginning, inshallah. That will be, yes, together, yes, they together act like one ism. That's the correct statement. Yes. So now we are seeing allazina hum yura'un. Allazina is a mausul. Hum. What kind of sila we have? You have to look for sila, right? After your ism mausul, you have sila, that is jumla ismiya. So in jumla ismiya, again, you're going to look for mubtada and khabar, and you have hum as mubtada. What kind of a khabar you are seeing here? Yura'un. Yura'un. This is your khabar. So what kind of a khabar it is? It is jumla failure. And this jumla failure, what kind of a fail do we have? What's the status of my fail mudari? Raf. Who is the doer? After every fail, look for the doer. Wow is the doer that is visible. It is marfu bi subutin noon because it is li'annahu min al-af'al khamsa, right? So that is that. And now I have to again connect my allazina hum yura'un to whatever was before. So if I call this, you know, this is going to be, what is one, what do you think? What can I call? Okay, one way, okay, very simply, you can you say that, yes, it can be, this can be another sifa for musallin, right? One is that, they're neglectful of their prayers, and the second can be they show off. Okay, but you will see in more, when you are neglectful, yes, it cannot be at, it is not at, that is for sure, right? So when you are neglectful of your prayers, along with being neglectful of your prayers, when you don't consider your prayers as a real connection, as a real means of connecting yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then whenever you are praying, you are only praying for what? You're praying for show off, right? You're show you should, and those who are neglectful of their prayers, when they pray, they only pray for, to show off. So as Sister Faiza has written, it can be this allazina can be badal for this allazina. Can it be? Right? It can be. Okay, those who are neglectful of their prayers, those who show off, and it can be badal, this is one and the same thing, that, there's another, thing going on with them, that they are doing the show off. And yes, sisters have already written that, sifa 1 and sifa 2 for alil musallina, and I will consider it correct too, that, you can also label it as, okay, these musallin, those who pray, and when they pray, they are neglectful. Number one, they are neglectful. Number two, they only pray to make it obvious to other people that how righteous they are. They are doing the show off business. Okay, they're showing off their ibadah to others. Is it clear to everyone? Everyone with me so far? So what will be the status of this allazina? It is again going to be jar, right? It's going to be one thing, it's going to be jar jar jar. If you know this, so I assure you, you will be, inshallah, when you will even look at Suratul Baqarah, it will be easy piece of cake, inshallah. Okay, now comes your last verse of Suratul Ma'un. وَيَمْنَعُونَ الْمَاعُونَ. What do you think here? What is wow? It's enough. Yamna'una. What kind of a sentence are we seeing here? Jumla failure. Can we connect this jumla to the whatever is before? Yes, we can. Through what will be the connection? Through atf. And that is very important, if that you know how you are connecting everything together. Your jumla failure has a fail mudari. What's the status of this fail mudari? Raf bi subutin noon. And who's the doer here? After a fail, I have to look for doer, who is wow. And after I've found my doer and my fail and file is done, I see an ism that is nasb status. What should I call it? They withhold this, very small things. Maf'ul. Very well done. What do they withhold? Yeah, yes, very well done. It is answering your what question. It is going to be your maf'ul bihi. Everyone with me so far? Is this whole thing making sense. So Sister Ambreen is not with me yet. Maful is red, rad. This is maful. Mauna. Oh, this is not that mauna. This is no. This is not a rough in status. This is the spellings. How this is on the version of. There is a special version. Just like there are certain words. It is not plural. It is how it is spelled like. Just like every ani word is not dual. Every una word is not plural. Think of that like that. Think of this word like that. Make sense or no? Yes, it is. I know it is because of it. And anyways, let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you, my dear sisters, why will you see a marfu ism after yamnauna? If you are, sometimes you have to use the tricks too, right? Yes, it is important to learn your rules and regulations, but sometimes you have to cheat too. After yamnauna, that is fail mudare, well, with file, wow, can I have another other doer? Right? Think about it. And just as we learned that every ani, lisani, mizani, rahmani is not going to be a dual, remember that al-ma'una, every una is not going to be marfu plural. Okay? That's okay. That's okay. And I'm glad you brought it. I'm glad you asked this question. And inshallah, we will learn about the surf of this word very soon when we'll take a deep dive in surf, inshallah, one day. Inshallah. Yes. And I'm really pleased that you brought this, that how mauna, but always remember, teat as well, okay? So everyone with me so far, all sisters are able to understand. Now, let me ask you one simple question. So your Jumla Ismiya began with wailun, wail. So what do you think? Wail is upon only those those people, those who are neglectful of their prayer, or also on those that are that withhold small things, very small things like a salt as well, right? This curse is on everyone. So are we going to take some lesson and give a lot, and a lot, inshallah? And this is number one lesson for myself, that don't withhold my wealth with me, and because I'm not going to take it in my grave. But these reminders are very important, right? And see how beautifully everything is connected, and how Ism Mausul, one Ism, and it connects, it makes so many connections. And when whatever comes after it, now it starts to act like an Ism, right? Those neglectful of their prayers, those who show off and prevent small things, very small things. Just like a salt. If somebody comes to their door asking for a salt, they don't give that to their neighbor. They say, no, I'm not, we don't have it. Okay? I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay, so I have seen once, so I'm going to move forward. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. With every surah, when we start another surah, we have to go over Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm not going to do the Arab again, but I will just say it. Inna a'toinaka al-Kawthar. If I connect it together, Inna a'toinaka al-Kawthar. So what is Inna? Harf of nasab wa ismuha. Inna, harf of nasab wa ismuha. What was na? Where is na coming from? And sisters, we have only 16 minutes. Na is coming from which pronoun? Nahnu. Barakallahu fi. Nahnu, right? So inna, that is why it is called harpe nasakha. It abrogated nahnu. It changed its marfu status from marfu status to now na is what in status? What's the status of ismu inna? It is now nasb in status. That is why this inna is going to be called nasikha. It is doing the naskh. Why am I going to call it haruf mushabba bil fail? I emphasize, we emphasize, absolutely, it's us, right? So this inna has a meaning of uakidu, I emphasize. It has a meaning of a fail. That is why it is called haruf mushabba bil fail. And whatever comes with it, its ism. Its ism is going to be just called its ism. We have stopped calling it mubtada, because mubtada, what is the status of mubtada? What have I taught you? The mubtada is always rough in status, so keep that in mind. Don't make it nasb in status, okay? Inshallah. Okay. So when you have inna wa ismuha, you have figured that out. What is now the next step? Khabruha, right? Now I'm going to look for khabruha. What kind of a khabar I have? What kind of a khabar? It is jumla failure. Atoina. What is a fail here? What kind of a fail are we looking at? Madin. Who is the doer? Na is the doer. Is it visible or no? It is visible. What's the status of this na? It is marfu'un status. So what have we learned now? Are all attached pronouns nasb or jar, or have we learned something different in past few sessions? Because na is attached, right? It is attached to a fail, and you can see it. So you're telling me it's rough in status. Yes, they can be all three statuses. These kind of pronouns like na or taul file or aliful isnain or wawul jama'a, they are all rough in status. So it can, na is very unique. It can be nasb, it can be jar, and it can be rough in status. Among all the pronouns that I have taught you, na was very unique. Na can be of all three statuses. It can be nasb, jar, or it can be rough in status. So here you see it nasb. Inna has na, that is nasb in status. Toina has na, the same very na is here rough in status. What is ka? What is ka? Maful bihi, because it is attached to a fail. Every time a fail attaches to a pronoun attaches to a fail, it is going to be maful bihi. This kind of a fail, if it is kaful khitab, it is going to be maful bihi, right? Kaful khitab, because you address someone with you, right? It's a second person pronoun. It is going to be nasbin status al kausar. Al kausar. What is that? It is maf'ul. Okay, I will take that as the right answer. So whole sentence is jumla. Your jumla failure is your khabru inna. So what will be the status of this sentence? Is it la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab, or it has some status? It is your khabar. It is rough in status, because khabar of your jumla ismiya, of your standard jumla ismiya, is going to be rough in status. And if it is not, if it is a sentence, then you call it fi mahalli raf'in. Barakallahu feek. So now comes your verse number 2 for salli. Here, skip fa again. Okay, we will learn it later, inshallah. I'm going to make you skip this, and I will go take you to anwa'ul jumla. What is the type of sentence? Anwa means types. So what is salli? Jumla failure. Barakallahu feek. It is an amr, my dear sister Samina. How do we know this is an amr? Sod, lam, waw, or ya are the root letters. Now tell me what helps you. Very well done. It is majzoom. It is majzoom bi hasfe harufe illa, because a weak letter was dropped. There were three ways that you can make your fail majzoom. Either you put sakoon. Number 2, bi hasfin noon. That happens in case of afalul khamsa. Number 3, if your last root letter is a weak letter, that can be alif, waw, or ya. You drop it. And that was something that tells you that your fail is majzoom. Do you see any alamatul mudare here? no lamatul mudare. Fail is majzoom with no lamatul mudare. The only option is failul amr mabni ala hasfi harful illa. Everyone with me so far? Because why I'm calling it mabni? Because unlike fail mudare, it stays like this. There is no other form to it. It cannot be raf nas. Have I ever taught you that fail amr majzoom, fail amr mansoob, or fail amr raf? It's always majzoom. Okay, it is mabni with majzoom status. It's always majzoom in status. It does not change its last haraka or anything. So because it stays fixed with majzoom status, that is why I'm going to call it non-flexible. It is very non-flexible. Okay. With every fail, I have to look for what? With every fail, the fail is fail because of this. Fail is fail because of this pronoun or a file. Always remember that. My fail is not going to be fail. It will, if it is devoid of file, it's going to be a verb of English language, right? That is why verb and fail are not interchangeable or synonymous. Okay, they cannot be, because verb does not have a pronoun or a file. Okay, so here, who is your file? Solli. Anta, very well done. And that's the only status, that's the only one siga of Felul Amr where your file is Damir Mustatir Anta. In rest all five, you will see your pronoun visible in form of Aliful Ithnain, Wawil Jama'a, Yaul Mukhataba, Aliful Ithnain, and the last one is Nunun Niswa, right? In all other forms of Felul Amr, you will see your pronoun visible. In case of Anta only, your Damir is Damir Mustatir. Okay, rest are all baris. Very well done. Li Rabbika. Jar wal Majroor. And then Rabbika is your, Rabbika is Idafa, Ka is Majroor bil Idafa. Everyone understood this so far? Huh? So all together, as Mutalik bil fail, as Sister Pfizer has already written. How will I connect wow with at? Very well done. One her. What is this in her? It's an amr. What tells you it's an amr? Majzoom. What else is helping you? A word is majzoom in status and no sign of mudare, no sign of mudare, no sign of mudare. Barakallahu feek. You remove your sign of mudare. Number one step to form your amr, you remove your sign of mudare and change it from fail mudare to fail amr. Number one, remove sign of mudare, and then you make it majzoom. And then the last step I taught you was, if a word cannot be pronounced, if it is beginning with the sukoon, add hamzatul wasl. What haraka this hamzatul wasl will get if I have to just recite this word? It will get kasra. You look at the third letter from starting from the hamzatul wasl 1, 2, 3. If it has fatha or kasra, it is going to hamzatul wasl gets kasra. If it is dhamma, your hamzatul wasl is going to get dhamma, and that is as simple as it is. Okay, everyone understood this? So let's do the last verse of Suratul Kawthar. So inna shaniya, inna wa ikwatuha. So what are we seeing here? Half of nasab, shaniya is ismuha, right? So you when you have inna wa ismuha, the type of sentence that is now we are going to be dealing with is jumla ismiya, and vowel jumla is going to be jumla ismi, right? Then comes when you have your inna wa ismuha, the next step is now you will look at the khabar. Okay, now you will look at khabru inna, because you have ismu inna, and ismu inna is shaniya ka is connected to shaniya through which fragment? How are they two connected? Idafa. Very well done, very well done. So now comes your khabar. So there are few ways to do this khabar, and today I'm going to ask you, what kind of a khabar are you seeing? Okay, because this is how I have taught you, and I will keep it as such. So, huwa al-abtar. What kind of a khabar? Jumla ismiya. Huwa is going to be mubtada. Al-abtaru is going to be a khabar. So, what kind of a khabar huwa has? Among the three types that you have learned, jumla ismiya, jumla failure, mufrad ism, what kind of a khabar huwa has? It is mufrad ism. Everyone with me, I hope. This whole sentence, huwa al-abtaru, that was habru inna, what is the status of that? How will you label it in terms of status? It is rough and status, and Sister Amreen, you have been typing it. Is it just simple rough? Fi mahalli rough in, right? Because it's a sentence, right? No, no, no. La mahalla is when the sentence has no i'rab, and la mahalla is only for silatul mawsul. Here, our regular khabar has i'rab, and because it is always rough in status, always rough in status. Only sentences that you have been taught that are lam halalaha min al irab are silatul mawsul, that are without any status. Okay, always remember that. Okay, fi mahalli rafin is the answer for this, and that is that. I think we have covered our complete lesson, alhamdulillah. And I am going to send this to Sister Faiza, and she will give it to you, this whole thing, till the beginning, and then I will post my answer sheet as well. And please do it. Inshallah. Okay. Yes, this is your homework as well, and do because you have done it with us, right? With your whole class, right? And when we do things with class, sometimes it is easy to be giving answers, and we are doing it together, and your teacher is with you. So I'm not saying that that I'm very helpful, but it gives you little help. But when you do it independently, that gives you more practice, and inshallah there will be one more practice for you, and then you can check your answers and everything as well. Okay, so that was that, and I wish you all a very happy Eid, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah bless you all with lots and lots and lots, and it has been an amazing journey so far, and it's a good break for you all, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as saying, protect you and your families, inshallah. Lots of love for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I will see you after the break, inshallah. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.